Hey guys, welcome to the Power BI Week event. I'm so glad to have you here with me in this edition where I'm gonna teach you everything you must know about Microsoft Power BI. This incredible tool for creating reports and dashboards like this one I'm gonna show you in a moment. My goal here is to bring you as much value as possible. So I hope you are excited too. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This is very important for me. And also, please let me know in the chat where you guys from. I am in the chat right now talking to you, okay? Let's start by showing what we're gonna build in this event. This sales dashboard with salespeople ranking. So from Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, these 3 days, we're gonna create this report from scratch. We have here a summary page. We can click on this button to analyze the report, and then we go to the sales dashboard with revenue, orders, and ticket price. Here we have revenue over time, revenue by group, by product group, revenue by channel, and orders by product category. And here I have a vision for my supervisors and my sales people. All right? I'm gonna show you how to create this filter pane here, also how to change pages like this, or maybe changing from light to a dark background, like this. Here we have this filter pane. Very nice. We can do some filtering here. For example, let's go with 2020. Let's go back. And here I have only one single year. We can go there and filter and clear our filters, okay? Let's go back and let's change pages to our ranking. Here we have this ranking. Carla Ferreira is the first one, the first place. Julio and Gustavo. And here I have also a smart narrative. This is very nice because it uses artificial intelligence under the hood. Here I have revenue for the top 3, only for those people, orders top 3, and ticket price for those 3 salespeople only. We're gonna use the DAX language to create these measures. Also, of course, let me show you here, we're gonna use other very nice features, advanced visualization features in Power BI. As for example, let me do like this. Let me go here and stop in one single quarter. Look at this. Here I have revenue versus budget only for that quarter. And I have, for example, this indicator saying that I am 98% over my budget. So we're gonna import a revenue table, also a budget table to compare revenue and budget. When this revenue is higher than the budget, it starts to become green. Let me try to find one quarter for this, like this, okay? So for this other quarter, my revenue is over my budget. So I'm good. So it's green, all right? This is conditional formatting. We're gonna learn this as well. All right, guys, let me go now with our notes. I have some important notes for you. Let me try to do this, okay? So, as I said, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tell me in the chat where you guys from. And also, post on LinkedIn and Instagram stories if you have Instagram account, and tag me there. Tag me there, Leo Carpa. Okay, so I can share again. Important notes. So we're gonna have three sessions: today, tomorrow, and Thursday. They're gonna last around about 2 hours, 1.5 hours, maybe 2 hours. Okay. I am live with you in the chat, so we can talk together right now in the chat. The database and materials are available in the link in the description. In the description, you can download the materials and the database. Very important, do not try to reproduce at the same time with me. These sessions are gonna be recorded until Sunday, so you can practice later. Okay, watch first, practice later. All right, and on Thursday, I'm gonna provide my solution, that PBIX file, this one. So here I have Power BI Desktop. This is the file where we built this report, okay? And I'm gonna share on Thursday for those who attend live. So on Thursday, we have 3 important points. I'm gonna share this file on Thursday. I'm gonna send the link for the certificate, okay? And also, after the session, I'm gonna open the doors for my complete training program, my complete Power BI course on Thursday. Let me go back right here, all right, and that's it. So pretend you paid a large amount of money to be here live with me in this event, because it's gonna change your career forever. I'm sure this week is gonna be a game changer for you. Okay, guys? All right, let me now ask you the following. Please let me know in the chat as well the following. Answer me in the chat if 1, you never use Power BI, 2, you are a beginner in Power BI, 3, you are intermediate in Power BI, or you are an expert in Power BI. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Let me know in the chat so I can understand you better. Okay, and we're gonna start with the basics. About Power BI and business intelligence. So, what is Power BI? What is Power BI and business intelligence? BI stands for business intelligence. It's a process for collecting or extracting data, transforming, modeling, creating visualizations in order to answer business problems, to help you answer business problems. That's the main goal of a BI tool. So Power BI is a self-service BI tool from Microsoft in order to answer business problems, okay? You grab your data, you collect the data from your ERP, your system, and then you transform that data into information that will help you. That's it. The definition is simple. And the process for doing that, I like to show the following. I call this 7 pillars for mastering Power BI, okay? Let me do the following, let's see. Yeah, it works. So we have 7 pillars. We have 7 steps for creating a BI project. First, you always need to extract data. Data is somewhere, usually in your database, in your ERP database. Then you have to transform the data to shape in the proper format, because this data that you extracted is not in the proper format usually. After this, you start to model, to create your model, data model. You start here to create your relationships between tables in order to do some analysis. So for example, revenue and budget. You create your model here in this 3rd step, so we can answer our business problems later. After this, you create your calculations. Remember that indicator where I have the percentage for revenue over budget. You create that measure here, that indicator right here in this step. After this, you start building your visuals, your report, okay? And we know Power BI has a lot of visuals, a lot of built-in visuals for this. And also advanced visualization features and also advanced visualization for machine learning, artificial intelligence, and so on. So very complete for visualization. After we finish our report, we start to share this report with others. So that's our sixth phase, the distribution phase. Here we publish the report to the web, to the cloud, and we share the report through the web. We don't send this PBX file, this one, to others. We don't do this. The Power BI desktop is our development environment. I'm going to talk about this in a moment. And I'm going to show you how to download this Power BI desktop software. So we use the web to share the report, all right? And later, we finish with our automation phase, because all of this can be automated. So, and when our database changes in the data source here, Power BI is able to do all this process again, and do all this refresh in an automatic way. You don't have to do any manual work again. Then you have more time to do what matters, which is analyzing the data, helping the companies to be more productive and to gain and to earn more money. All right, guys, that's it. So let me show you now how we can download Power BI Desktop. So we always start in the Power BI Desktop version. We have the Power BI Desktop and Power BI, the web, Power BI Service. We start with Power BI Desktop. And you can find Power BI Desktop in the Power BI website. So let me do the following. Yeah. You type Power BI Desktop on Google, or you go to powerbi.com, and here you have the option for downloading. Okay, you can download for free, as you see here. Download for free. Or maybe you can download from here. We have two options for downloading Power BI Desktop. If you have Windows 10, you just click here, and it's going to be downloaded through the Microsoft Store on your Windows 10. Windows 10 has Microsoft Store, okay, for free. And then you can download for free here. It's going to open Microsoft Store and download through there. If you have Windows 8, Windows 8, Windows 7 is no longer able to work with Power BI, okay, to handle Power BI. Windows 8, then you have to click right here. When you click there, you are able to choose your language, and you click download. Download. You choose between 64 bits or 32 bits. Then you download, go next, next, next. It's done. Then it's finished. Okay, so Power BI Desktop, very easy to install, nothing fancy here. And we're gonna always start through Power BI Desktop in order to create our reports. All right, what about the Microsoft, the Power BI version, the Power BI web version, the service? The Power BI service here, where I am right there, okay? Power BI service is used for sharing and collaborating. So after I finish my report in the Power BI Desktop, which is this file here, I go here to publish. When I hit publish, it's gonna ask for an account. And this account you can create from right there. Let me find. The Power BI website, try free, maybe, try free. Yeah, try free. Try Power BI for free. Yeah, right there. And you can create a free account in the Power BI service. Okay? Very easy as well, but the only downside here is that you must have a corporate account, a domain. If you use, for example, only Gmail, Yahoo, or whatever, Hotmail, then you have to do another step in another way. I'm gonna show this tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow, after we finish the second lesson, I'm gonna show how to create this account, this web account. So don't worry about now, we can start in the Power BI Desktop, and we don't have any problems with that. All right? Everything is going to be for free. You don't have to pay anything during this week, okay? You have only to pay Power BI, the Power BI web version, the Power BI. You have to create a paid account or to pay the Power BI service when you need to share inside your company for others in your company, and this report cannot be shared with the web, to the web. Cannot be published to the web in a public way. This way, you have to pay $10 per month per user. We're not gonna need this during this week. Only the free account is more than enough. Okay, guys, let's go now. And I wanna show you what we can build in Power BI, what type of reports and dashboards we can create using Power BI. So what areas can use Power BI? And the answer is, you can use Power BI in any areas, okay? For any purpose, for any companies, for any country, for anything. So let me show you. Here I have a financial report, okay? This one we built together in the previous Power BI Week event. Okay, I have also a simulator right there, financial simulator, to see what happens with our income when we change our costs, when we change our unit price, and so on. This is financial. We have also the same report, but in a different theme and different background, in a different design. Okay, we have here these buttons, very nice, to open the composition tree, and this is a visual inside Power BI for root cause analysis, for revenue, gross margin. Also, I have another option for using key influencers, a very important visual inside Power BI that uses artificial intelligence as well. Okay, I can change pages like this. Income statement. I have this financial simulator as well. Same report in a dark background, also in a light background, and other areas, as for example, production. In this report, we tracked our overall equipment effectiveness, a very important KPI for production. Okay, we change pages from here in this report. Hours, we track our hours, okay, productive hours, and so on. And here, productivity. Another one for logistics right now, for tracking the OTIF KPI, on time in full KPI. Okay, we change pages from there in this one. We can do whatever we want. We can place the visuals wherever we want. Okay, so it's up to us. Another one for sales versus target. Okay, then I have another page right there. Oh, let me show you here. We have this map. So Power BI is able to handle map as well. We can use a lot of different types of maps inside of Power BI. Our target analysis. Okay, here I also have a simulator like this. Another one for logistics, for fleet management. So we have here our revenue for our freight, the quantity delivered, weight, goods values. Look at this, very nice as well. I can change one single part of the page like this with buttons, from map to table. Look at this. So if I like map, fine, I use this. But if I don't like map, if I want to see this in a table, I can create buttons like this one to change this visual only inside of the same page. Let me change pages here, fleet costs. So I have here the total costs, and I have also our result here, financial result. Okay. Human resources, this one I like a lot. Human resources, to see number of employees, how many employees we hired, how many resignations we had, our turnover rate, and so on. And what I like in this report is the following. If I want to see more information about our hires, I can click on this button, and it's going to change the page to see only information for this pink KPI, which is number of hires. Let me go back there. Oops. And I can change, for example, for resignations. Look at this. So very, very, very well organized. All pages for a single purpose, to see only information for a single KPI. So we are going to practice this as well. How many KPIs I can have in a single page, how to use the proper visual for the type of analysis we want, and so on. Okay, guys, I think I'm done here. I'm gonna go there to my desk so we can start for real. All right, let me go. Okay, so let me start by showing our database, okay, our case study. We have here four files in Excel. Sales data, product, photos, and budget. Our main data is here, sales data. Our main table is under here, okay? Let me open these ones. Sales data. This is a sales report we just extract from our system in this date here, okay? And we have information for order date, order number, the product we sold, the salesperson who sold this product or this order, and the name of the salesperson, supervisor, manager, channel, the sales channel, quantity, and unit price. Okay. So in every single order can have more than one product sold. So for example, I can see clearly that those 3 rows are for the same order number. Okay, guys. And this was the salesperson. So every single line represents an item from an order. And this is one order. Those 3 lines represent one single order. That's it. Also, we have a product table because we can see here that we have the product key, but where is the information for this specific product? Is in this other file right here. We have the ID. We can connect from those 2 files between this ID. And then we got the product name, product group, and the category. We also have a budget table. This budget table, we're gonna work together on Tuesday, tomorrow, okay? This budget table, and the budget is defined by the budget for every single salesperson for every single month. That's the granularity of this budget table, okay? That's the details we have in this budget table is for salesperson and month. This is called granularity. The grain for the details we have. And then we can see that we have 3 tabs, 3 sheets, 2019, 2020, and 2021. All of them are in the same structure. Power Query will be able to handle those 3 tabs, okay, and to transform those tabs at once. We're gonna see tomorrow about this. Let's go to Power BI Desktop right now. So let me go back right there. So the first time you open Power BI Desktop, you're gonna see this, okay? And I'm gonna show you right now the main buttons for you, the main navigation buttons. Here we have a report tab. This one, okay? Where we're gonna drag and drop our visuals from there to the canvas. We call this the canvas. This white space is our canvas. The second one is our data tab. After we import some data, we're gonna be able to see the data in a table structure in this data tab. And the last one is our model tab, where we can create our relationships between tables. Okay. And here, the first button we're gonna press when we are in Power BI Desktop is this one. Excel, or maybe actually this one, get data. So we're gonna get data first. As our data is Excel, we can click there at first, okay? Excel file. Then we grab the data, and we can transform the data in this button right there. This button opens a very important window, which is the Power Query. Power Query. Power Query. Here is where the magic happens when you need to transform your data. Transform and then automate all these transformation steps inside of Power Query. We're gonna see this a lot tomorrow when we deal with the budget table. Today, I'm gonna show you the basics for this. During this transformation step, we do three very important processes: extraction, transformation, and loading. So we call this ETL. Let me do this. ETL. Extract, transform, and load. We are gonna extract data as we saw in those 7 pillars. We're gonna transform, and then we're gonna load to Power BI Desktop. After we load, Then we start with our model in this tab right there. Okay? So let's start. Let me do the following. Let me see if I can stay right here or if I need to go back. Let's click on Get Data first. Oops. There you go. Get Data. I have a lot of options. I can do more to see all my options I have to get data in Power BI. All my sources, Excel, text, CSV, folder, PDF, a lot of databases we have here, SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, Azure, a lot of things. Hundreds and hundreds of options for you to get data from. Our data is Excel. So let's click on Excel. Let's go there. Let's find our data. Let me go right there. Here, database. And let's start with our sales data. There you go. Here's gonna show the sheets you have and also the tables. In our case, we have only one sheet. Sheet 1, click there. Click there. Yeah. And now is what I call the most confusing part for starters, which is these buttons here. Load and transform data. In my opinion, it should be the opposite. Transform first and transform in yellow. Because if I load this table as is, I cannot do anything inside of Power BI. Because I can see here, I have some nulls, I have some columns without names, and so on. So I need to transform first. Okay? Let's go to my desk. Okay, so let's click on Transform Data. When you click Transform Data here, it's gonna open Power Query as it would open if I clicked there. Okay? Let's go, Transform Data. Let's see Power Query opening. There you go. Note the following. You have now two windows working together. Power BI Desktop behind and Power Query at front here. Let's start with Power Query. So maximize the window, and here you can do a lot of different types of transformation. You can split columns, you can change your data type, you can merge queries with other tables, you can, let's see here on transform, you can transpose, you can reverse rows, extract, unpivot columns, pivot column, and so on. Okay, don't worry about this quantity of buttons. You're gonna understand the process, and then buttons will not be a problem when you understand the process. Okay, so try always to understand the whys. When you understand why you're doing that, to find where to click is the easiest part. Okay? Let's go with the following. Let's go to Home. Let me click on there. And I want to show you that we have some rows here to remove, right? Those 3 rows I want to remove. I have 2 options for removing rows. I can go right there under Remove Rows, and then remove top rows. Let's click on there. And let's type 3. 3 rows. There you go. Yeah, they're gone. They're gone. What if I made a mistake? If I made a mistake, I cannot Control Z. That doesn't work. But there's something much better than Control Z, which is under here, under Applied Steps. They are like macros in Excel, okay? But much more powerful here, much easier to work with. All these steps were done, okay, until the last one. And the last one, removed top rows, I did myself. If I made a mistake, just click on the axis. For example, click there, you go back to where you were. And I can go up to change my steps and to see how it was before these steps. When I imported this table, those 4 steps were done by Power BI, okay, automatically. All right. The second way to remove empty rows is the following. I can go to column number 2, which I know always must have a number or a value, and then click on the filter and remove empty. Remove empty. Same thing. I prefer to do this, to do the second option, to remove empties instead of removing the number of rows, because I don't know, maybe maybe in the next time I export this table, I can have another row there like this. Then it's no longer 3, it's 4, maybe, I don't know. So I prefer to remove empty rows. And now, imagine if we had a button to put this first row as headers, because here I know it's the order date, order number, product key, and so on. So instead of renaming one by one, I can go right there, and there is. Use first row as headers. Look at this, the magic. Very nice, very easy. Everything works here very in a easy way and in an automatic way. Because when my data changes, when I import more data, when I extract again, and this data is different, Power BI will do all these steps again. We'll go one by one, and all of this is now automated. I no longer have to do any manual work when I need to transform this data again. It's automatic, okay? It's automated. All right, let's change this sheet 1 from sheet 1 to sales. And now what I like to do is the following. I like to check if my data types are correct. Order date, and how can I know the data type? In here, in this corner, okay? Order date is date, all right. Order number is a number, product key, okay. Salesperson key, salesperson, supervisor, manager, channel, ABC text is correct. Quantity and unit price, okay, it's fine. But I don't have the total sales amount. How can I compute the total sales amount? Just by multiplying these 2 columns. So let's do this. Let's click on quantity with the control button. You can click on unit price, and then I need to add a column, right? So where can I add a column? Oh, right there, add column. And then I have so many options here, but the easiest one for numerical operations like this one, mathematical operations, is by going here, add column, standard, and multiply. Click there, multiply, there you go. Multiplication, very, not friendly name, right? Not a friendly name. We can change this name to sales amount, or yeah, sales amount is okay. Double click, sales amount, sales amount. Enter, and then another step was included there. Okay, guys. Now I wanted to notice the following. I have this formula bar right there. Okay. How can I add this formula bar, and what does this formula bar mean? You can add just going to view, and here clicking on formula bar. This is called the M language. M language. The M language is the Power Query language. But note the following. How many times I had to write a formula here? For now, none. Only with my mouse, I did all these operations, okay? So don't worry about this at first. This is something you can understand, you can learn later, and just to do some advanced changes or some small operations directly here in this formula bar. If you want to know more about this M language, there is a very complete documentation in the Microsoft website. You just type Power Query documentation, you're going to find. Don't worry about this right now. And we're going to talk more about Power Query and the M language tomorrow when we transform the budget table. Then we're going to need more steps. Okay, we're going to need more advanced transformation steps. For now, I think we are done for this table. We can start our visuals. So look at this. Let me go back here to our 7 pillars, okay? So we just extract. We just did this very easy transformation to remove empty rows and to promote the first row as header. We're going to skip the modeling phase right now, okay? And we're going to skip calculation for now as well. Then we're going to go to the visual step right now. And then tomorrow, we're going to focus mainly on the modeling phase. And on Thursday, we're gonna focus on the calculation phase. Of course, I'm gonna talk about a little here today as well for the modeling phase and calculation as well. But mainly now, we're gonna go to visualization. All right. Now I can do the following. I can go to Home and close and apply. When I close and apply, Power BI will import this transformed data into Power BI Desktop. So we could do the modeling, the calculation, and the visualization. Let's go to visualization right now. But first, let me just make these notes for you because you can download these materials as well. So I'm gonna write right here about the extraction phase, okay? And then also the transformation phase. Look at this, extraction. So where does data come from? Usually from an OLTP database, Online Transactional Processing Database. Our database for our ERP, our system, okay? But how we connect to this data varies across organizations, mainly due to security reasons. It's very difficult to the IT team to give permission for end users to go to the database and extract data from there. So, in a lot of cases, we have to extract data from the ERP instead of going to the database itself. Okay, but there is an option, of course, to work directly with databases. So we can connect directly from in our transactional database, or maybe some companies have a data warehouse. Others, they provide an Excel file connected to the database. In our case here, in this week, we're gonna work mainly in this fourth and fifth case, when we have to extract reports from the system. Or maybe when we have to fill out spreadsheets manually. As for example, in the photos file, this is filled manually. We have the group and these photos here to put in our visuals for the ranking and also for the products. So for example, let me open one of these. We have here wheat flour. I think I have all these photos right there as well. Yeah. So these photos we are going to use as two tips. Let me show you. Like this. We can see the photos right there. Oil, yeasts, flour, liquor, and so on. So these photos were filled manually. Okay. Also, let's write here about the transformation phase, okay? So the transformation phase is very important, as we saw, because the tables must always be columnar. That's the proper structure of a table, always columnar. Each column must represent a unique type of information. I cannot have in the same column information for different purposes. always the same type of information. And we know when we connect to files that we extracted, or maybe directly in databases, the data is messy and dirty. So that's why we need to transform first. And Power Query is our best friend for this. Okay, guys. The good news, as I said, is that when you finish your transformation steps, in the next extraction, in the next refresh, Power Query will do all the steps again, and you no longer need to manually update your tables, your report. That's great. That's great because you get more, you have more time to do what matters, and you become more productive. Let's go now to the visualization phase. Let's start with the following. By looking here to our second tab, which is the data tab, and I can see the data right there in a different, as a table. My system is in Portuguese, so let's change this first. How can you change for your locale, okay, for your regional settings? Go to File, Options and Settings, Options. And I think here global options is already in English, but in the current file, I always have to change one by one when I start. So my regional settings for this, I'm gonna choose English from United Kingdom because of my dates are with day, month, and year in this format as United Kingdom. So let's go to United Kingdom. Also, very important here in this pane, in this menu, preview features. Go there and check everything. Also this one, yeah. I'm gonna check this. I'm gonna press OK. And then I have to open this again, open Power BI desktop again, to reflect these features, okay? So these are preview features that I have to enable manually at now. Power BI will test for some weeks or some months, and then later they're gonna become general. They're gonna become default in Power BI. Okay. Let's apply changes again. So I think it's gonna change from Portuguese to English. Let's see our dates. No. How can I change this for English? April. Oh, I think these names I cannot change for in English. Let me see the following. No, yeah. I think I cannot change this. As my system is in Portuguese, sorry, but I can change this, but I can change the format. I can change the format to this. That's fine. It works for me. Let me save it. I'm gonna save this as Power BI Week. Power BI Week report. And when I do this, I get a file right there, this one, okay, and with this extension, PBIX. All right. Now, let's start with our visualization. Okay, open sales, you can see the columns. So I like to start with this one because this visual is the most simple one, the simplest one, which is a card. Click on there. You can drag and drop wherever you want, okay? You can resize, and then you can choose which field to be in here. Let's go with sales amount. Click on there. There you go. And I have here my sales amount. Very easy to create your first visuals, okay? Let's suppose now I want to compare sales amount over time. I want to track sales amount over time. So click outside this visual, and then let's choose another type of visual. And in order to do time comparisons, I always use the horizontal axis for the time, for the date. So I can choose between this line chart or maybe the area chart. This one I don't like. The column chart. Let's go with the area chart first. Area chart. Okay. And you can see that we have more options right now. Axis, legend, values, and so on. Let's start with order date under axis and sales amount in here in values. I can also click and drop right there. Unit price or sales amount here, click, drag and drop right here. There you go. And you can see that our date is with this hierarchy: year, quarter, month, and day. How can I go to the next level, to quarter, for example? You have these buttons right there, which we call this operation as the drill down operation. I can go down to quarter, month, and day in three ways, three different ways to do that. Let's start with this one. Let's go. And now I have the year and the quarter together. Year, quarter, year, quarter. Let's go again. I have year, quarter, and month all together. Year, quarter, month. Right? When I click in a point right there, you see that visual in a card changed. It was filtered as well. Let's go again. And now I have the daily information. Year, quarter, month, and day together. Oh, if I don't want, for example, quarter, let me go up. I don't want to see quarter. Click on there, on the axis. And I can now drill down directly to month, year and month. All right. The second option is this one. Note the difference. When I click there, I see the 12 months, but without the year. So for example, when I go here to May, this value represents May for all years I have in my database. If I have 5 years, it's going to sum up these 5 years for these months. Okay? It's different. It's a different behavior from the first option. If I go again, I see the 31 days. The 31 days I can have in a month for all months and all years. Let's go back again. So this was the second option. And when I choose this single arrow, I have to choose between a specific year. Power BI is waiting for me to choose, which year you want to drill down. Let's suppose it's 2020. Then I click on 2020. It's gonna drill down to the months in this specific year only. So you can see 2020, June, for example. Let's go again. And now I see the 30 days for 2020, June in 2020. And this number was filtered when I drilled down with this option. It filtered the value. So be aware that this button can be dangerous. If you, for example, build your report and then you leave as this, as it's like this right now, users may think the number is wrong. But what they didn't notice is that this visual was in another level, in the day level, and it was filtered. I can see in this button that I have this value filtered by year and month. Let's go back. 1, 2, yeah. And let's place our visuals right there. Right. Now, let's suppose I want to compare sales amount by salesperson or maybe supervisor. Click outside, and then I'm going to choose, for example, the bar chart. Bar chart, let me go there. Here, And let's go with salesperson, or maybe supervisor first. Supervisor under axis. And sales amount. I can drag and drop as well to the visual, okay? It works. There you go. I have my supervisors and the sales amount for each supervisor. If I click there, Power BI is gonna filter the other visuals. I can hold Ctrl to click, for example, in 2020, and it's gonna filter both. It's gonna use both filters, okay? Diego and 2020 with the Ctrl. To clear this filter, just click in anywhere inside the visual. It's gonna clear all filters. What about legend in small multiples? Let me show you. Legend. Legend, I could use, for example, channel under legend. It's gonna split this visual into the proper channels I have. Let me change from supervisor to salesperson. Each salesperson has one single channel. Yeah. Each salesperson has one single channel. That's fine. That's why I cannot see different colors. But maybe if I use, for example, product key, okay, instead of salesperson, let me show you with product key under axis. It's too many product keys. No, didn't work as I wanted. Let me show the following then. Let me go back again with supervisor, and here I have channel. Maybe this one. Let me show legend for this one. I want to split the same bar into different pieces. So let me change from, look how easy it is to change visuals. If I want to choose to change for a column chart, just click there. Works, very easy. Now let's put channel under legend, and now it's the behavior I wanted. I can see the same bar splitted by channel. If I want to compare channels for every single year, this is not so easy, right? Then I can change from this type of visual to this one, the clustered column chart. There you go. It depends on your main goal, to compare channels like this, or to keep the total as my main priority. Okay, what about small multiples? Let's see here, small multiples. Small multiples is very nice because I can split one single visual into pieces. So let's do the following. Let's grab this one. Let's put supervisor, let's remove supervisor from here. Salesperson right there, okay. And now supervisor under small multiples. There you go. Here I have my, my salesperson, okay. And all these squares are my supervisors. I can change all this format, going to format. So for example, small multiples, let me change the grid line, the grid layout. If I want, for example, 4 rows, or maybe 2 rows and 4 columns, like this, or maybe 5 columns, so they stay in the same row, and 1 row, like this, for example. Very easy to change this format for your visuals. Okay, I'm gonna ignore small multiples and also channel. I'm gonna keep as this because now I want to ask you something. Why did I choose this type of visual for salesperson? Why not, for example, let me reduce this size right there, just to ask you this. What about, let me Control C, Control V. What about a column chart instead of a bar chart? Like this, for example. Or maybe, why not a pie chart? Or maybe, why not a line chart like this? Which one do you think is the best option for the same visual, for the same information? Which visual? Let me do the following. And I want you to answer me in the chat, okay? 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which one? For me, it's very clear that the first option is the best one for this case, in this case. Why? Because I have a text in my axis. Okay, I have a text. I have a category. So whenever I have categories, try to use bar charts. Okay? This one here, the column chart, when it is like this, it is okay. Okay, I can read the names, it's fine. But let's suppose I make this a little bit smaller, like this. Then you start to climb your head, right? To read like this. Or if I go even smaller, I have a this scroll bar in the horizontal axis, which is not good. So try to avoid this. This one, you can see clearly, that's not good, right? Look how many slices I have in this pie. Too many slices. I cannot see this number. I have to find the color in this legend. It's not easy. For example, try to understand who is this yellow one. You have to go there, yellow. And if I have purple, for example, I have three types of purples. Not easy to understand, not good. And this line, also not good because we usually use line charts for time, for something that is continuous along this axis. So for example, time, date, month, and so on. What about, instead of salesperson, if I had manager? Then the pie chart's okay, it's fine. It's fine. Because then, with less than 3 options, with 3 or less than 3, it is fine. It is good to use pie charts, it is okay. Or maybe I prefer actually the donut chart. It's fine. Okay, that's when I use pie charts or donut charts, when I have less than 3 categories. Fine, fine, fine. Okay, guys. Okay, so now let's start creating the visuals for the first page of our dashboard. And for that, I must talk about data storytelling, okay? Data storytelling and 9 recommendations for you to follow. If you follow these 9 recommendations, I guarantee everything is gonna be much easier for you to create dashboards like this that I showed before. Okay, let's go there. We're gonna skip pillars number 3 and 4. Let's go to the fifth one to talk about data storytelling. So first, what is data storytelling? It's the power of building a narrative around a set of data to help convey the meaning of the data in a powerful and compelling fashion. This definition I got from this website. In other words, to guide your audience smoothly through the analysis. And I like to say that a dashboard is like a joke. If you have to explain, that's because it was not good. So the user must be able to see the dashboard and to get insights easily, in a smoothly way. So without having to ask the developer every time, okay? And these recommendations I'm gonna give you right now will help you to achieve this. Let me go. Okay, recommendations. I'm gonna go very fast, one by one. The first one, identify your audience. Ask how a dashboard will be used and designed for the next steps. So for example, if you're building a dashboard for the CEO, it must be different from the operations team, from a dashboard to the operations team, okay? Ask how much detail the user needs. All of this must be considered. Before going to Power BI, or maybe before creating your background, I like to draw a sketch. In a piece of paper, maybe, or maybe in Power BI without any background, as we were doing, okay? But draw this sketch first and validate this sketch with your end user. Okay? Try to use one single screen for each page without scrolling, and keep to 3 to 5 key values, charts, or tables. So at most 3 to 5 KPIs, cards, for example, and 3 to 5 visuals. If you need tables, if you need to put the tails in tables, put these tables in here, in this corner right there, or maybe that corner. Why? Because we always tend to read the dashboard like this, in a Z shape. And the most important part are there. So we always like this. We always do like this, right? Even in a magazine, for example, or a website, you scan in a Z shape. So try to put your tables there, or maybe here. All right. Choose the right visuals. As I was talking to you right now, why you should choose bar charts for categories, pie charts for 2 or 3 at most categories, and so on. Okay, so choose the right visuals. 4, choose the right theme and keep consistency. And this website is very nice to create your theme. The color Adobe. You can explore, for example, here some colors, some palettes, color palettes, right? And it's very easy to grab, for example, these codes here to Power BI. So for example, if you like ocean, ocean. Come on, ocean, there you go. Here you have some colors for ocean. Or maybe, no, I like purple. I like the purple color. Type purple. It's gonna find some purple color palettes. Color palettes with purple. Or maybe if you have a picture, or a photo of something, of your, for example, your logo, you can go there to, it's in Portuguese. Let me change to English. Let's see if it's gonna work. I think so, yeah. You can go to create, extract theme. And here you can upload a photo. Let me try to do this. Let me select one single photo here. For example, this one, yeah, this one. I can go there, and it's gonna find the colors in my picture. I can copy then these codes and use inside of Power BI to create my theme. I'm gonna show this later. All right, next one. Create a background. This for me is one of the most important recommendations in here to give that wow effect. And when the user sees a dashboard with a nice background, the chances for adoption are much higher. Also, use icons and images to add context, okay? And I always like to download icons and images from this website, Logo Maker. You can type, for example, let's suppose I work with logistics. So let's type truck. And then you can find your trucks there. And you can change the colors, okay? And save it right there. Click here on no thanks. It's gonna download this PNG without the background that you can use in your PowerPoint background, or maybe inside of Power BI. Okay, align all visuals properly and be aware, take care about spelling, okay? So align all visuals, it's very important to align. Use references to get inspiration. Don't rely on your creativity if you're not creative, as I'm not creative, so I always like to see other works from other people to get inspiration. And use visualization features from Power BI as the tooltip, through bookmarks we're gonna see in this week. Let's start with the background. I'm gonna start with the background with you, okay? Background, you have this file as well. So let me show you what we're gonna build. Okay, this background is built in PowerPoint. Everything here are shapes. You create shapes like this. I download these icons from this logo maker website. I used some colorings here, some gradients. For example, here, let's suppose I want to change this gradient color. Go with the right click, format shape, and here under fill, you can change the gradient. I'm gonna build this one, okay, as the default. Then we're gonna be able to change pages from this to this one. Also, I have some other options for you. Try to use different options as well. Try to use different options and then create your own report with your own colors, with your own backgrounds and themes. It's very nice for you to understand how to change colors and so on. I have this option, this one in dark blue, dark gray, with different colors as well, with this tomato color, this green, a lighter one as well. This is gonna be our second page, and here is for our tooltip, okay? After you finish, you can go here, for example, in this first page, File, Save As, and then you choose either PNG or SVG. PNG or SVG, and save it. After you save, you're gonna get these files. I have here the SVG version, okay? All right, guys, let's start with this background so we can start faster. Let's go here to Power BI, click outside any visual, go to Format, Page Background, Add Image, and I think that image is slide 2. Let me go background, slide 2. Nothing happens because you have to go right there. Transparency to 0 and image to fit. Yeah, that's it. Look at this. When you have your dashboard, your background, to align the visuals inside of your dashboard becomes much easier. It's just a game now of playing this Lego, right? You just fill the gaps with the visuals. Very nice to do this when you spend more time creating your background. Okay, now let's do the following. This one is sales amount, but I'm gonna call this sales amount. I'm gonna change the name to revenue. So I can change to revenue just by clicking here, double click, revenue. There you go, okay. And let me grab my copy right there, okay. Let me put this revenue right here, but I'm gonna change this visual, okay? This card to actually this one, multi-row card. It's a little bit more convenient for this space. Okay, let me do the following right now. This revenue by salesperson, I'm gonna change to revenue by channel. Change to channel, right there. And I'm gonna change to a donut chart, as I have three options, right? 3 categories, that's fine. I'm gonna place it right there. And let's change some things here in our visuals because they have this background in white, which is not good. I want a transparency to 100% without this background. And also the colors. The colors are not aligned with my theme. I can change this one by one if I want in the format option, and then under data colors, or maybe the background, I can turn it off. I can change, for example, my legend. Let's change our legend. Actually, I want the legend to be on the bottom center, all right? And I want what? I want to change, yeah, that's fine right now, like this. But I don't want to do this in every single visual. So what I can do is the following. I can go to View and edit my theme. My theme under customize current theme, and I can change, for example, my visuals to the background to be 100%. My colors, and then remember the Adobe website. I can grab the code there to put right here. And then I change my colors. I also can change the size of my text. And I can do a lot of things right here. I'm not going to spend time doing this with you because I already have a saved theme. This file right here, this theme that I can use there. So let's go there. Instead of doing this manual work, I'm gonna browse for themes. And let's use theme blue. There you go. So now I have all colors that I want. Look at this. These colors here, here, and here are the same ones there. Great. So be consistent with this. But I'm gonna talk about more these colors later, okay? So now let's try to put this value in a better shape. We have to do this manually. There's no option for doing this automatically. Let's go to format, data labels. I'm gonna change this data labels to 16. This text size, yeah. And the font, let's change the font to Segoe Bold, UI Bold. Okay. Make a little bit, yeah, bigger. And I'm gonna get rid of this bar. So under card, show bar, turn it off. And let's change category labels, turn it off, to title. I'm gonna change category labels is below the number. I want the title to be on top of the number. Title, revenue. Revenue, there you go. And what's the size? Let me see here, the size. Yeah, that's fine. Like this. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I know. Let's change this this format for this value, right? We can go to revenue, and I want this to be as a currency, and without any decimal places, 0 there. So just click on the name of the column, currency, and 0. Now it's better. Yeah, fine, nice. Okay, next. Here, I want to compute my orders, the number of orders I have. How can I compute the number of orders? Let me create another one like this, Control-C, Control-V. Place it right here, remove revenue, and then which column represents my number of orders? Let's go here. Order number, right? But what type of aggregation I must do in this column, with this column? A count, maybe? If I count this column, I'm gonna get the number of rows I have. But remember, one single order can be in multiple rows. So what I must do actually is the following. You can see right here. This is the number of rows, okay? And this is the number of distinct values for order number. Actually, from here, order number. So I must do a distinct count operation. And we can do this very easily in here, and then selecting this visual and dragging and dropping order number under fields and changing the aggregation Power BI is doing. Clicking on there, on this arrow. Sum, which makes no sense in this case. I cannot sum these order numbers. And I can do either count or distinct count. What we want is distinct count. Click there. There you go. Okay? When we use columns as measures, as numbers, we are using implicit measures. We are performing the fourth step, which is the calculation step, but in a predefined way, in an implicit way. We're gonna explore more about the DAX language and explicit measures in a moment. Actually, I was going to say tomorrow, but today I'm gonna also talk about these explicit measures. So hold on. This is not the proper way to do calculations, okay? But it works. It's fine for now. Let's go to the Format tab to change the title, okay, to orders. Orders, like this. Fine. The last one, which is the average ticket price, I'm gonna keep for the end. This graph right here, this visual, I'm gonna change to a column chart with lines, which is, I think, this one, clustered column chart line and clustered column chart. So I can use orders as well here. So I can use order number under line values, and also, again, count distinct. Let me go one. I would like to go to quarter. So let me grab again my quarter. I can open here, quarter. There we go. Let's go back. And now that's what I want. Something here I don't like in these visuals are this, the Y title and the X title. I can get rid of this, okay? And also I want to make these numbers appear once only, without concatenating. So let's go there. Here, sorry. Here, format. X-axis. Let's get rid of the title. There you go. And let's get rid of these concatenate labels. There you go. Under Y-axis, the same for the title. Remove title. Perfect. Perfect. There you go. Look at this. Count of order number. Not nice, right? Not nice. I cannot change the order number here, this column name. So I have to change here. Instead of count of order number, I would say orders only. Orders, there you go. Now, let's do the following. Let's try to understand what colors I should use right there. Look at this. Revenue stands for purple. Orders, I am using green. So these colors must be consistent along the other visuals. When I use green and purple together here, I may be a little bit confusing to the end user. The end user can assign this green to orders. Can, right? So how can I avoid this? Then I must change in a manual way. There's no way to Power BI understand this. Then I go to Format, Data Colors. I'm gonna change distributor to a dark one and the online to a light one. Like this. This works. This works fine for me right now. Okay. And now let's finish with this matrix. Actually, we have two more visuals in this card, but I'm gonna almost finish with this matrix right there for the supervisors and for the salespeople. So I'm gonna create a matrix, not table, matrix. Power BI almost put in the right place. Yeah, perfect. My rows, I'm gonna use supervisor and then salesperson right below, because I can do the drill down in any visual, not only this one, okay? And I can create my own drill down, my own hierarchy as this. Okay, now let's go to revenue and order number. But order number, I'm gonna change to a count distinct. And let me call this as orders. All right, very nice. But I don't like these colors. I have to change manually. Let's go to format, style. I'm gonna use none. All right, and now let's change everything else. First, under grid, I'm gonna change my row padding to 3. Okay. Also, the outline color, dark blue. The outline weight stays the same. Text size stays the same. Column headers, let me see, the same. But here, alignment, center. Okay, center. So the color headers are those, okay? And now let's see what else. Row headers, I think they are okay. Row headers, they are okay. I think the values, I have to change the colors right now. Values is in here, in the middle. Font color, always white. White. Alternate font color, white as well. And the total, also. Subtotals. Let me go with this. Let me go down one step, one level. Okay. Let me find the grand total. Grand total under there. The color is white as well. That's fine. That's better. Much better than before. Yeah. Okay, guys. Now, what I can do is the following as well. I can create a bar behind these numbers to represent the amount of these numbers, okay? The size of these numbers. Let's go there to fields, revenue, click there on this arrow, and conditional formatting. For this field, I want a data bar, data bars. The positive is gonna be this purple, okay, the first color. So revenue, purple, orders, green. I can do the same for the orders. Let's go there. Conditional formatting, data bars, and now it's green. Green, okay. There you go. Fine. Now let's talk about this last KPI, which is the average ticket price. Average ticket price, which is a division between revenue and orders. Revenue divided by the number of orders, I have my average ticket price. How can I do this? I don't have a column here to do this. And I cannot add a column to do this type of calculation, because in my original table, I don't have this information for number of orders. Each row does not represent, each line does not represent one order. Remember? I can have multiple rows for one single order. So I must do this in an explicit way, using the DAX language, using measures. So let's go with the following. Let's create a measure for the revenue first, another one for orders, and then the last one for average ticket price. Even though I already have an option to use a column for revenue and for orders, always, but always, when I use a field inside of values, I must use, not that I must, but it's better to use a measure, explicit measure, instead of a column. Remember, again, if you're gonna use a field under values, it must be a measure. On axis, columns, and small multiples, and filters, then use columns. So for values, measures. For filters and axis, columns. Okay? We're gonna review this in the next lessons as well. So let's go To create our first measure, you go there to Sales, right-click, New Measure. Okay? And I'm going to call this new measure as Revenue. But I cannot use the same name for columns and measures in the same table. So I'm going to call this Revenue, just for now, Revenue Measure. You can go with the Control and scroll to make this formula bar larger, okay? This is the DAX language. What type of aggregation Power BI did when I used the revenue column in here? It went there to the revenue column and took all those values and sum up all those values. So the aggregation is a sum over the revenue column. Here you find the revenue column. All right, enter. And then let's do the following. First, let me rename this revenue again to sales amount, as it was before, okay? And now, do not change the original column name to use as measures, because you have to use, it's better to use the explicit measure. And then again, revenue measure can be only here, revenue, like this, it's better. We're going to change this to a currency format, currency, without any decimal places. And let's change all places that I used the original column. I'm going to change to my measure. Revenue was using sales amount. Let's change to revenue only, the measure. The name is the same, the number is the same. Here, change sales amount to revenue. Here, change sales amount to revenue. Sales amount, sorry, to revenue. Okay, later I do the conditional formatting again. Orders, the same, we're gonna do the same. New measure, and let's try to understand what function I should use here. Orders equal to, what type of calculation I did here was a distinct count, right? So distinct count is a function to do the same operation, the same aggregation I did with the column. Order number. I can use the tab to autocomplete autocomplete the column. Close the parentheses and press OK, enter. I can use now 1,000 separators right there. And let's change from this column to orders, which is a measure. And you can see the following. When I create measures, they get this icon here, this calculator icon, to say that it is an explicit measure. This is an explicit measure with the DAX language. Let's do the following, let's do the same right there. Orders with orders, okay? And here as well, orders with orders. There you go. Now let's try to compute the last KPI. New measure. I'm gonna call ATP, average ticket price. It's a division between revenue and orders. And this is the good thing about creating explicit measures. I can reference them. I can use those measures that were calculated before, that were created before. This division, I can go with revenue slash orders. There you go. And let me use this visual right there. ATP right here, change, and let's click on the name, currency with 0. Oh, sorry, 2. Here I want to use 2 decimal places. Perfect. This title also, let's change to ATP. And I like to give a space between the letters, like this. Orders as well. This will be more clear in order when we read. Like this. But there is a function for doing divisions which is safer, okay? Because if I divide by 0, I get an error, right? Infinity. So I like to use always the divide function. Divide is a safe division to handle division by 0. So again, if I do the same operation, but instead of the slash, I use the comma to separate the arguments. Enter. You're gonna see it's gonna be blank, blank. And the third argument is the alternate result when I divide by 0. So for example, I can type for something like 0 instead of blank. Or division by 0 or error, or something like this in text. Okay? But I want to use 0, and here the division is on orders. Revenue divided by orders. Enter. There you go, same result, but it's a safer division. Okay, now we use ATP right there as well. And let's create again my conditional formatting very quickly here. Revenue, conditional formatting, data bars, this purple, orders, conditional formatting, data bars in green, and ATP, conditional formatting, data bars in blue. Perfect. Okay. And very important, don't worry about the DAX language right now, because on Thursday, I'm going to share with you a DAX guide, a website for you to understand, to find all DAX functions. Okay, we use today only the sum and the divide and the distinct count. In this website, you can find all other functions for you to search, okay? So don't worry about now. Today was just for an introduction. I just wanted to show you how you can create measures very easily. Let's finish. Let's finish with a text right there. So let's go to Insert, Text Box. I'm gonna call this text box Sales Dashboard. Segoe UI bold. What size it is? Let me see. 18. 18. It's fine right there. Okay. And for now, we're gonna import the product table, because here what I want in this box is revenue by group, product group. And what I want in here is orders by product category. So we need this information. And this information is in another table, in another file. Let's go to Home. Get data. I could click on Excel, it's the same. And then let's choose Excel. And our database is product. Here I have one table and one sheet. I can choose between those two, okay? I prefer to use the table if I have a table defined in my sheet. So let's click on there. Let's go to Transform Data to see if everything is fine, everything is correct. And let's try to understand what happens when I import this data, import this table. Product name, product group, product category. Seems correct, okay? Let's change the name to product. And let's try to close and apply. Close and apply. Let's try to use columns from product with our measures. Let me do the following. Let me Control-C, Control-V here. I prefer to use Control-C, Control-V because all formatting options come together, were defined before, right? So now I can choose the other visual, which is a bar chart. And let me remove my axis. Bar chart with revenue. And now, think about this. What's going to happen when I drag product group into this visual? Let's see. All numbers are the same. Let me use here a data label, okay? Data label, you can see the numbers are the same. And let me remove now the x-axis because I don't need the x-axis if I have the data labels already. And these numbers are equal to my total right there. Why? In my case, Power BI did not find a way to communicate product and sales. When you import the product table in the first time, maybe Power BI can find, but in my case, Power BI did not find a way to relate, to communicate product and sales together. Let's think about Excel. If you were using Excel and you were here at the sales data Excel file, how would you create a pivot table to see revenue by product group? Probably you would have to do some VLOOKUPs, right? You'd have to find here the group by using a XLOOKUP or VLOOKUP, and then finding the proper product group from here, from this other file. And then you bring the group physically to this table. In Power BI, it's different. You don't need to take this group column and bring to the sales table. You can leverage relationships between tables. In my case, Power BI was not able to find this relationship here under model. How can I fix this? How can I fix this? How can I create this relationship? I'm gonna leave for tomorrow, okay? You can try to build this. You can try to build this dashboard and try to figure out how to create this relationship and fix this problem as well. To finish, let me copy this one, Control-C, Control-V. I'm gonna put it right there. Let me make those bigger as well. Okay, and here I'm gonna change to orders. And on legend, product category. Same thing here, okay? I have a wrong number for the same reason. As I am using orders, I'm gonna use green options only for my colors. So a lighter green there. Okay. And that's it. Okay, let me go there to finish. So we just finished the first page of our sales dashboard, and tomorrow we're gonna import the budget table so we can do more transformations in Power Query and also understand better how these relationships across tables work. We're gonna do a deep dive into the modeling phase as well tomorrow. And also, I'm gonna create tooltips using images to see our products, okay? To see also how we can compare revenue versus budget with those indicators and so on. So now it's your time. Don't forget, it's crucial for you to import all tables and practice. You have to think how to solve problems so you can learn for real. Don't forget to practice to do your own version of this dashboard. You can change colors, you can do whatever you want using those templates I gave you. So don't forget to do this. Create your own version, post to LinkedIn, and don't forget to mention me there. I see you tomorrow.